Today we're reviewing the Huawei Ascend D1 Quad XL, an unlocked GSM device that will be available in select markets around the world this quarter. Before we dive in though, let's offer up some background to this quad-core device. If you've never heard of Huawei, it's a company that's still largely unknown to the mainstream, but it's starting to make a big name for itself in the smartphone arena. Until as recently as this January, it focused on budget-friendly devices and stayed almost completely out of the high end. In fact, at the beginning of the year, it hadn't even released a product with more than one CPU core. Its strategy changed at CES, however, as it announced the dual-core Ascend P1 and the P1S, followed by the Ascend D Quad and D Quad XL at Mobile World Congress in February. Accosted for the unfortunate name, Huawei changed the name of the phone to the D1 Quad XL. Sadly, it also changed the launch timeframe, delaying the product's release by no less than 4 to 5 months. So how does Huawei do at its first attempt at a top-end handset? The XL promises long battery life to go along with its homegrown HiSilicon K3V2 quad-core CPU that's clocked at 1.4 GHz. It also throws in 16 GPU cores to efficiently handle a variety of graphics-intensive needs, as well as 1 GB of RAM to help manage all the processing power. With great power comes great expectations, however, and here's the thing. Its performance is on par with other first-gen quad-core phones like the HTC One X and the Samsung Galaxy S3, which is to say that it's solid and very smooth, with few struggles in keeping up with our increasing demands, and that's because it was supposed to be released at around the same time frame as these other devices. Now, unfortunately, the phone that once was called the world's most powerful smartphone, or claimed to be by Huawei, will be going toe-to-toe with giants like the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 and the LG Optimus G, and it simply can't hold a candle to the new Exynos or Snapdragon S4 Pro chip. The phone also features a 4.5-inch 720p IPS Plus display that offers good viewing angles, high pixel density, and a good movie watching experience. It's not as good as the display on the One X or the Galaxy S3, but is still quite good for most users. In terms of firmware, the D1 Quad XL uses mostly vanilla ice cream sandwich, with only a few changes to the lock screen, widgets, and the camera app. It also has added a couple Huawei Android themes and a secondary launcher called 3D Home, which offers a few 3D-ish icons and a different app menu, and that's about it. We don't see a lot of people choosing to go with this particular setup. On the outside, you'll find a micro USB port on the left, a headphone jack and a power button on the top, and a volume rocker on the right. The back has the 8-megapixel camera with dual LED flash, and a speaker grill near the bottom. The back cover is removable, revealing a full-size SIM card slot and a microSD card slot, as well as the non-removable 2600 mAh battery. You heard correctly, folks. This phone, as thick as it already is, still contains a battery you can't access. The spec sheet also boasts MHL, DLNA, Dolby Mobile 3, and Dolby 5.1 surround sound, as well as pentaband 3G radio. Here's the bad news. It lacks NFC, only offers 8 gigs of internal storage, and is incredibly thick for its form factor. Even though we haven't heard how the Quad XL will be priced, we're guessing that Huawei will be aiming to keep the overall cost down, in hopes of wooing customers that otherwise would be opting for a mid-range phone. Doing this means that certain features had to be trimmed or cut completely, but we wouldn't be surprised to see a larger effort in Huawei's next flagship. The Ascend D1 Quad XL is Huawei's best smartphone so far, and we have a feeling it will continue to raise the bar in the future, as it learns a lot of lessons from its first high-end device. Sadly, it can't claim the title of world's fastest smartphone, but it's a solid performer that will likely come at a lower price than its quad-core competition. We have a full in-depth review that you can check out at Engadget.com. This is Brad Mullen, reviewing the Huawei Ascend D1 Quad XL for Engadget.